Hi, Sheila here from Satin Crystals, and today we're talking about Groundhog Day and 3 of the best crystals you can use to cut the ties from your own Groundhog Day cycle. But first of all, let me tell you about Groundhog Day in case you're unfamiliar with this tradition. So Groundhog Day started in the 1800s here in the United States in Dutch Pennsylvania country. Their superstition goes that there's a groundhog and they use one that they call Punxsutawney Phil because the tradition is based in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. So Punxsutawney Phil comes out of his winter hibernation. If he sees his shadow, he goes right back into his den, goes to sleep because there's 6 more weeks of winter. But if he does not see his shadow, he can rejoice, and so can all the people, because early spring is about to arrive. Now, in actuality, Punxsutawney Phil is only right 39% of the time. So that's not much. So as you can see, this tradition is more for the fun and festivities now rather than a serious weather forecast. So on this vein, I would recommend that you wear your cute animal jewelry or even maybe some sun earrings as you can encourage the early spring to arrive. So a lot of people didn't even know about Groundhog Day until the 1990s when comedic actor Bill Murray brought this obscure tradition to the mainstream masses with his movie of the same name, Groundhog Day. Before the movie came out, only around 2,000 people would travel to Punxsutawney every year to watch the groundhog, but now tens of thousands of people flock there every year for this tradition. So in the movie, which is one of my favorites by the way, you should definitely watch it. In the movie, Bill Murray relives the same day over and over again, Groundhog Day, until he's able to overcome his own personal obstacles and learn his lessons and move on to the next day. So it'd be nice if we could all just learn our lessons the first time around, but of course, whatever is holding us back, our egos, our stubbornness, our doubts, it keeps us in the same cycle. So I have 3 crystal recommendations for you to cut the ties and be free of your endless Groundhog Day cycles. First, we have Obsidian. So Obsidian is a great stone for cutting cords and keeping unwanted energies out of your aura. Obsidian is a black volcanic stone that crystallizes really quickly once it hits the earth. So it's a no-nonsense energy. It'll cut, slice, and shield your energies from that which you are not wanting in your life. So obsidian points, the ones that have little points like these, are excellent for cutting cords between yourself and a toxic relationship. So all you have to do is imagine, visualize the energy between yourself and the person who is sending you unhealthy vibrations. For me, I always imagine this like an umbilical cord running from my solar plexus to the other person. You might imagine it going from your heart to theirs, maybe your third eye to their third eye chakra. Regardless of where the connection is, you will feel the connection, and some are healthy connections, so you'll feel a loving, positive flow, and obviously you want to keep those connections. The unhealthy ones are those that drain you, leave you lethargic, leave you in a really bad mood. So that you want to cut that energy out of your life as soon as possible so you don't keep going back to it. So obsidian helps in visualizing the slicing of this cord. So it might take some time depending on how long you have been attached to this person. It might take a lot of visualization and manifestation, but keep at it, because once you do cut that cord, you are gonna feel so much better. There's gonna be such a relief and a freedom from that cycle that you have been stuck in for so long. So that's the first stone you can use, obsidian. And the added bonus is that obsidian, when you wear it, when you keep it with you throughout the day, you can have it transmute any negative energies to positive ones and keep you shielded and protected so you're not falling back into the same cycles. Next, we have malachite. Now, malachite is a great stone for cutting the past. So if your Groundhog Day involves being stuck on past events, you should definitely use malachite. Malachite is an excellent stone to use at the heart chakra. It brings up any emotional baggages that you have not dealt with. It brings it up, allows you to confront it and release it. Now, a lot of people report that they feel very emotionally overwhelmed when using malachite. So if you're not strong enough to use it all at once, take a break and hold some softer stones like rose quartz or aventurine, and then go back to malachite's care. Now, like obsidian, malachite might take some time to work, so be patient, especially if you have a lot of emotional traumas that you've never dealt with. You can use malachite in conjunction with other therapies, like if you see a psychiatrist or like to talk over problems with your friends or write in a journal. Malachite is a great stone for releasing all this unnecessary baggage that you've been carrying around for so long. And once that is gone, you can finally move forward and be free. So my third crystal recommendation for Groundhog Day is Charlet. This is a swirling purple stone which connects us with our spiritual energies and allows us to focus on the big picture rather than being stuck on the small details. So imagine that this is the end of your current life right now. You're not going to want to focus on the petty, mundane things. You're going to want to focus and embrace all the joy and happiness that you've had in this life. All the resentment, the grudges, the drama, that is of no use to you anymore. You want to be free. Those are your Groundhog Day problems. You want to be spiritually free. So Charlet, it connects us spiritually at the crown chakra at the top of the head, so you can place it directly there and access your higher self. So a little side story about how I met my higher self this first time was when my sister and I were taking a spiritual hypnosis class, and she was practicing on me, and I went up to the spiritual realms and I met my higher self. She said her name was Joy, although she probably didn't physically say that, but she resembled me physically, but energetically she was only love and happiness. And this is what we want to achieve now rather than later. So with the help of Charlet, we can connect to this energy and forget about all the little things that may make you annoyed or angry or frustrated now. Just let go and be free of those things. So those are 3 of the healing stones that I recommend for you to break free of your own Groundhog Day cycles. And of course, you can wear the festive jewelry if you're going to Punxsutawney this year or having your own Groundhog Day festival. If you have any questions, comments, experience, stories for your own Groundhog Day crystals, we always welcome positive comments here on our channel. Please do subscribe so you can keep on top of what crystal healing recommendations we have for you next. And come visit us at Satin Crystals anytime.